What are the courses we offer at SmartHub? All right. So please, within a quick seconds, please drop the courses we offer on SmartHub. All right, please. Let's get it on the comment section right now. Please, no SmartHub team members should drop it. I like it in the correct order. The course we offer. The first person is highlight it. I'm saying just one now. No, not one. I said courses, not just one. So highlight it. It won't take you much time to do that. So I'll be waiting for it within a split second. I'm seeing just one product. No, in a table manner. Please, I'm waiting. All right, the tech courses we offer. Please, no team members should engage in this, please. No team members should engage in this. All right. We are not giving you giveaways. You've already achieved enough. Okay. You'll be attended to the correct highlights of our programs will be attended to the first person actually. I'm just saying 2, 3 and thereabout. No, that's not how it's done. I need the full details of the courses we do. All right. And also, let me drop this other one as well. I'm not seeing possible response. Should I just take the card? Should I just take the gift to myself? You will respond to actually. All right. Okay. All right. So I have another one. I have another giveaway for you. That's the first one. Is it clear? Do you have a okay. I have another giveaway for you. This one's within a second, the very first person that got it will be rewarded as well. Another tech trivia. Are we ready? Okay. When is our next bootcamp holding? Within a split second, when it's our next bootcamp holding. All right. When is SmartHub next bootcamp holding? Please, a date, the full detail, day, month, and year, not just. Okay. The very first person that got it will be okay, fine then. All right. That's fine. Okay. Thank you very much. We appreciate everyone for participating in our tech trivia and also have exposed you to what this program is all about. So now I told you this program is going to last within 1 hour 30 minutes. We are not going to waste much of your time, but we want you to get full details of what we are to do today. All right. So our next program, it's our okay. Just hold on, please. Okay, sorry. I think I have just network glitch. Sorry about it. So let's reward our before we kick start. Let's reward our winners for the tech trivia, please. Winners for the tech trivia. I think I have to announce you. Okay, winners for the tech trivia. Please. Do you have a winner, please? Okay, for the first one, I'm seeing A0. A0, can you please indicate? A0, please. I'm seeing 2 people indicating, and just a Ejiro, please. Okay. The second, the first, Ejiro is the second person that answered for the boot camp, and I'm saying gifts, gifts. Please, who is gifts? All right, gifts. Okay, Ejiro and gifts are our winners for the tech trivia. Please, please get into their DMs to reward them of their gifts. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you very much for your sincere contribution on. That means you're really following us on our SmartHub group and everything about SmartHub. Thank you very much. We appreciate. All right. Okay. So let's kickstart our program officially. I told you we are not going to waste most of our time. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. I'm going to officially introduce our guest speakers. All right. Our guest speakers. I will officially introduce them to everyone. All right. Now we have various on the tech and breaking into tech. We break it down for everyone to be exposed to various parts. All right. Every of the breaking into tech articles have been broken down, and each of the tutors will break it more for you guys. All right. So I'm going to the first topic we're going to take on break into tech. Please, please, if you get your gifts, if you got your gifts, gift and Ejiro, please, if you got your gift, please, you can make a comment on the. You can just drop a comment on the chat, please. All right. For the guys that won the gift, you can just drop the comments, so we verify that you got in the gift. Actually, please. Thank you very much. Please, please, please. All right. There's no verification for gifts. Please gift. Verify if you've gotten your gift. All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So we are going to be inviting one of our speakers. All right. Please, Ejiro and gifts, while we are proceeding, please indicate if you've gotten your gift as well. So we are going to introduce our guest speakers. All right. We are going to introduce our guest speakers. One of them. All right. They is going to be breaking down what we're going to be talking about, like understanding tech and career paths. He's going to be talking about this in under breaking into tech. He's going to be talking about understanding tech and career paths. All right. So you break it down for everyone to understand. Please stay put. There are more things that will incite you while we proceed. Please, today is Saturday. I believe everyone is not going anywhere. And trust me, if you leave this platform, you're going to miss a lot. All right. So please stay put. So we are going to be talking about understanding tech and its career paths. Some of us here are confused on what tech is. Possibly we are new bits on techs and in tech, and we don't know the career path to follow. So our speaker here is going to break it down for us, every aspect. Do well to pay close attention to it, every details of what he said, because there will be giveaways as well, and each of the topic being emphasized here. All right. So please carefully get all what the speaker is saying. All right. And also there are questions. There are question sections for each of them. Please will not entertain questions while the speaker is talking based on the topic given to him as well. So please, if you have questions, there are sections for questions. All right. Please don't interrupt the section. So we are going to be talking about understanding tech and career paths. So we have on our mess, we have our software engineer, a guru, man that been to everywhere, that knows what the web like if you talk about the web, you break it down. The software engineering part, you break it down like in full details for you. Is an exceptional person. He's not another person that David Sampson as is a software engineer. So let's give a round for David Sampson while he comes on stage to give us to break down what um, understanding tech and career paths. Please let's give a round of applause for David Sampson. Please, I'm not seeing any reaction from anyone. Please let's give a round of applause for David Sampson. All right, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I believe he's here with us, so he's going to officially introduce himself and we'll start
Thank
on
you.
what's
Thank
understanding
you.
tech priorities. All right, Mr. David, please, can you take over the stage? Thank you very much. Mr. David, are you with us?
Do you
Okay,
need
I
my
think it's
video?
okay. She would like you to share your slides or
Yes,
your any
I
material you prepared
am
for us.
with you, but do you need my video?
We would like to see your screen. We would like to see your screen.
Is
Yes,
what?
yes, we'd like to see your screen on a video of you, please. Everyone is curious to know you.
Okay, I will do that now. Try sharing. Share and my or my okay.
Mr. David, please, we can hear you.
I lost connection. Bullshit.
Mr. David, all right. I think he's having a network issue. So please let me confirm these persons first. Please, Ejiro and gifts, please indicate because we can't proceed without you getting more your gifts on as well. We have more giveaways, so we want to confirm if you receive yours so we can. Okay. While we wait for Mr. David. Okay, okay. All right. Our team is on it. If you've not gotten your gift, don't worry about it. They'll definitely bombard you with one. So don't worry about it. All right. So while we're waiting for Mr. David, all right, I'm going to introduce you to how many of us have heard of our multi-boot camp? Please, if you have, please indicate. Just indicate if you have heard about multi-boot camp. Okay, just few persons. Okay, yes, yes. I'm seeing. Okay, that's great. Multi-boot camps. Okay, we have our multi-boot camp coming up May 5th, 2025. All right. So please, if you haven't registered, all right, it's packed. It's packed. It's 6 month duration, all right. 6 month duration, and trust me, if you're in SmartHub, if you have been in SmartHub, you know how capable we are, all right. So please, if you haven't registered for a boot camp, please do well to do that. And we also have our tech sprints. Tech sprint, tech sprint also up in 30 days. This is an intensive training within 30 days. This 30 days time, you'll be equipped. All it need be, please engage yourself in our tech sprints. This program lasts for just 30 days, all right? And it's packed, all right? Links will be dropped for for the tech sprint, the boot camp, the multi boot camp, and the tech sprint as well. All right, our team is going to drop the link for you. Please, if you have not in any way done do all these ones, please do well to just check on our group chat or click on the comment section. You're going to see our link being dropped. Please do well to register. Then we also have those persons, the students. We also provide a student level for you to leverage on the IT section. Please, if you're a student and you're in the range of 300 level or more, 300 level, 200, I don't know, depending on the universities and the polytechnic sections you are. All right. So please, you can leverage on these things. Please leverage on these things. And our industrial training, which is the IT experience, is also 6 months. All right. So we can, the link will be dropped for you. So you just take advantage of it. All right. As a student, it's also loaded with a lot of packs. All right. So I think we have David up. Mr. David, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm here.
Okay,
Can you
yes.
hear me?
Yes, we are waiting for you. Okay, welcome.
Hello.
Yes, we can.
Sorry. Okay.
All right. Mr. David, please, your time is counting. All right. Thank you very much.
So can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, please drop a thumbs up. If you can see my screen. Thank you so much. Thank you. We are in the same country and it happens a lot. So network issues don't mind you. We have network issues. And it's something you will always experience as a tech person getting into. So for today, I want to introduce you to, and also I am experiencing all of these network issues. So you should also learn about it, navigate your own. So breaking into tech, I'll go first. Breaking into tech and your pathway to thriving in tech. My name is David Sampson, and I'm a full stack engineer. I've been building up software for a while, be it front end, back end, mobile, and also I teach too. So I'm also a tutor. I teach full stack development. But my take is not going to be limited to only full stack development. I'll be talking on tech in general, everything about tech. So thank you. The first thing is, what is tech? What is tech? A lot of persons say, I'm a tech bro, I'm a tech sis, I want to get into tech, I want to join tech. What is tech? Tech is a short form or short abbreviation for technology, and technology is the use of tools to solve problems and also maybe improve efficiency and save time. So it covers software, hardware, AI, cyber security, and cloud computing, and also more. Tech is used in every industry as of today. tech is used in every industry, be it politics, make
Mr. David, please, I think your network is breaking out. Can anyone hear him, please? If you can hear him, please indicate. All right, I think he's having a little bit of network issues. All right. Okay. Mr. David, we can hear you, please. Okay, well, can anyone hear me? Let me know if it's from my own hand. Please, if you can hear me, raise, just indicate it. Okay, fine. I think it's Mr. Davis' end. All right. Okay. We let's just wait for a while if it's going to join as soon as possible. But before that, okay, I see gift. Who's gifts? Have you received your gift? Oh, okay. Gifts. I can't. Hey, Drew, have you seen your own as well? Okay, you've seen yours. Okay, you've seen yours. Gifts. Have you seen yours? You've not indicated yours yet. Okay. I think we are going to introduce. David's having a network glitch, and we can wait for him. So we are going to make it shuffle. But hold on first. Let me make inquiry of the next speaker. So if you can come on, because David is having a glitch and we don't have time for. Just hold a second. Okay. We are going to call David after the next speaker. All right. I think he's having a network issue, so let's call the next speaker instead. Then David has to come before or later before George. All right. We are going to, instead of we starting the introductory part, which is not the introductory part, just understanding what tech is, we are going to start on how to start and grow in tech. All right. We are going to be talking about how to start and grow in tech. All right. So we will introduce a prestige person, a man with great with a lot of package in him. He's not let me not exaggerate the whole stuff. I think I'm exaggerating, but we all know this person is loaded. All right, this person's it's loaded with a lot of knowledge and pack tons of things. Right, so we are going to introduce George Boma Smith, Mr. George Boma Smith. Can you give a round of applause for him, please? Let's indicate. Let's give him a warm welcome. Let's give him a warm welcome. He's going to be talking about how to start and grow in tech. We'll break it down for you in full details. He has a pack of things he's going to be introducing to you while we wait for Mr. David. All right. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. George. You've been loved too much. Oh. Please, you also spread the love to me as well.
Hi, you guys. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Just indicate that you can hear me. Stars. Okay, perfect. Yeah, welcome to you guys. Welcome everyone. Happy weekend.
Sorry,
Happy.
Mr. George. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
Yeah,
I think your background is we the audience needs to see your face because they
the
are so
background is
curious to see. Yeah, the
um
background is showing your face halfway.
um okay. Let me see if I let me move this filter and see if that will make it better. Um, but I didn't want to. Let's see if I can remove the filter. Is this better?
Yes, I think it's perfect.
It's perfect, right? Okay, yeah. Good day, guys. How are we doing? So yeah, today I'll be talking about how to start and grow in tech. So unfortunately, whatever I'm supposed to say here is meant to come after Mr. Dave has introduced you to tech in general, because I know most of you are just so curious to know much about tech, to know the whole ecosystem, before we start talking about different areas in tech, because that's basically what I want to do, talking to you about different areas we have in tech, and so that you can try to find your path and say, okay, yes, I prefer data analysis, I prefer UI UX design, and also how to package yourself, okay, in best possible ways, how to package yourself and put yourself out there so that people know that, yes, this guy or this girl is into this, and then she or he can deliver. Okay, so let's bring this person into our team and all of that. So I'll be presenting. Let me share my screen, just indicate when you can see my screen, and then we will see. Uh, can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Okay, perfect, perfect. So don't mind the fact that I have a slide here I'm going to work with. Generally, I'm not a man of slide or a man of presentation. I enjoy going by the flow, but I was held at gunpoint to prepare a slide, so I had to just come up with this. So just what I'm saying in general, most of the things I'm going to say, they're not going to be in the slide. I'll just go ahead and tell you things about that you need to know. Other ones might be in the slides. If you need more details, you guys are always part of the community. If you're not part of the community, they'll drop the link for you to join the community. You can ask questions. You can, if you want more career path for us for to be given to you, we are going to present that to you. So yeah, how do you start into tech? You know much about the tech industry. You've been hearing for years now. You hear that tech is they say the new oil, and most of us are so curious. Tech is a new oil. I would like to go into tech. Some persons try to come into tech because they hear about the money. Other persons, they come into tech because they have the passion for it. In whether you like the money or you're coming to tech for you because you have the passion for it, if you're following the right path, you're always going to be rewarded accordingly, according to the input you bring in. Definitely, you're going to be rewarded. In as much as you know what you're doing, basically. So let's see. So that's generally what we are looking at here. I want to break into tech. What are the different roles we have there? What are the different paths we have there? What can you basically do if you want to learn? How can you go about learning? Do you have to learn on your own? Should you have a group you have to study with? Should you go ahead and join a boot camp? Do you have to go to university in order for you to become a tech bro or a tech sis? These are some major things we have to talk about. Okay. Are we good? So the first thing I'm going to do is a brief intro. I think let me just introduce myself. My name is George Boma Smith. Don't mind the fact that there is no image here. I'm really not a fan of pictures. So I was looking for an image. I couldn't find anything good. The ones I was seeing, they are kind of, yeah, somehow. So I just had to ignore images. So my name is George Boma Smith. I've been in tech for quite a while. Officially, I would say 2017. Unofficially, should I say 2007? Okay. So I studied computer science, then I also studied statistics in the University of Port Harcourt. So ever since I graduated, I've just been into tech. Initially, I started with web development. I'm sorry, data science. I've been in data science for a while before I decided to delve into mobile app and web development. That's where the software development is there. And yeah, that's just basically about me. Now, there are different fields we have in tech. Suppose Mr. David spoke about all of what he wanted to speak about before, it could have been easier, but then still you guys have to follow. Okay, you've been hearing different fields in tech. Most of you want to choose, hey, I've been hearing about technical writing. Should I do technical writing? What is it? What does it entail? Should I go into web development? What does it entail? And all of that. But we are going to talk about mostly the ones we have at SmartHub, and not just the ones we have at SmartHub, the career paths that are well informed and booming out there. There are other ones you have there, but we are going to mostly focus on the ones that are booming. And most of them are also things that we also offer at SmartHub. So the different parts we have, most of them are things you have to do via coding. Some of you like to code, you do those things via coding. We have other areas like data science, we have data analytics, we have UI UX design, we have cloud computing and all of that. But we'll delve into each of these so that you get to understand what is cloud computing about, what is UI UX about, what is web development about, okay, and all of that. So first, let's start with data analysis. Now, if you want to be a data analyst, what are the different things you need to know? In fact, what is data analysis all about? Now, you go on Netflix, you go on Facebook, you go on Jumia, you go there to buy things. And most times when you go on Jumia, or not even go to Jumia, when you go to different areas, maybe you go on Facebook and then you have different friends. Eventually, Facebook tries to give you a summary of friends you've had over the past few weeks, or friends you've had over the past year. They can also give you a summary of your activity you have on Facebook, your activity in terms of how many posts you've made, your engagements you've had, and all of that. Those things are basically data. But now Facebook is presenting its data to you in a summarized pattern. Okay? Now, why are they presenting this data to you in a summarized pattern? They want you to have insights as to what you're doing on Facebook. They want you to be able to use that to conclude or to make a decision as regards to how your activity, if you're the kind of person that maybe you're making money out of Facebook, how your activity or your engagement of Facebook has been, and so many other things about you, and so many other things about your friends and your followers you have on Facebook. I'm using Facebook as an example, but we have different areas. You could be working in a business scenario where by the end of the year or by the end of the month, your supervisor, the stakeholders you have in the company will come to you and say, what has been going on in this company? In which of the product do we have more sales? Those sales, are they coming more from male or they're coming more from females? Or are they coming more from the people that are married? Where are those sales coming from? These are different things we basically want to look into. So for you to look at for you to come up with those kind of charts or those kind of analysis, you have to go through data analysis. So in general, what's data analysis all about? Data analysis is all about you coming up with meaningful insights or coming up with decision from data. It's as simple as that. You pick data. Data is simply raw information. It could be the names of people you have. It could be their ages. It could be their gender, their sex, okay, things they've bought over the past years. Once you pick this data and then you transform it to make insight out of it, which is generally what people call information, we now call that data analysis. Now, your presentation could be in visual format where you see charts. You guys must have heard things like bar charts, pie charts, histograms, scatter plots. In data analysis, we use all of these. Most of us, when we're in secondary school and they start teaching us all of these things, not even just in secondary school, even in university, we keep on asking ourselves, what am I going to do with this mathematics and this statistics they are teaching me? I'm not going to do anything with it. It's not for me to go and be a classroom teacher after I finish studying mathematics. Even those in maybe in biological science and chemical science, and then they're learning statistics, they'll be wondering, I'm not going to use statistics for anything. Okay, I'm in biological science. What am I going to do with this? These are different things people say. But it's not the case, okay? Just that the educational system don't try to show you that, see, this is where you're going to use this. They allow you to go ahead and do the research yourself if you want to do the research. If you don't want to do the research, you're on your own. Okay? They don't care. They've taught you, they've given you a certificate or whatever, and that is it. Go and find your life. So that was how it was, but generally, you know that statistics, mathematics, if you're in the university right now, if you're in secondary school, no matter what you're doing, you know that these are things that are very vital. You're going to need it in different areas. So we have different fields here. For you to be a data analyst, one of the things you need to understand, we have mathematics and statistics. You have to be good at them. When we say good, it mustn't be, they're just foundational things you need to learn. In statistics, you need to learn things like your mean, median, your standard deviation, your variance. Okay, then we have to come a little bit into what they call hypothesis testing, probability. Okay, what's the probability that something is going to happen? How if you produce two drugs, okay, drug A and drug B, what's the hypothesis? What's the likelihood that drug A is better than drug B, or what's the likelihood that drug B is better than drug A? Those kind of things you want to do, we call that hypothesis testing. That's one thing you have to learn. Okay, that's where the mathematics and statistics that we have here comes in. Thereafter, you have to talk about Excel. Now, Excel, people they'll be taking Excel to be something that is more of a, should I call it a child's play? But Excel is one of the powerful tools, very powerful tool that we have out there. Because when it comes to the data analysis ecosystem, Excel can be used for a whole lot of things. In fact, Excel at present, they've even embedded programming interfaces into Excel. You can program, okay, all the while you can use Excel for what they call Visual Basic, VBA. But right now, we can even use Excel for those of us that like programming Python. We can use it for a whole lot of things. But I'm saying Excel is one very powerful tool that we use in the industry. So when you see a lot of job posting coming out, they will also always tell you that, see, Excel is one of the requirements we need. You need it to be good in Excel. So you need to understand Excel. Okay, so Excel is one of them. Mathematics is the first one you need to look into, because even when you're doing Excel, you're going to be using mathematical functions, you're going to be using statistical functions. You need to understand those statistical functions. You're not just using them. Why are you using them? How are they going to help you in your day-to-day activity as a data scientist, or in the company you're working with, in your personal life, and whatever you're doing, the project you're doing? Yeah, that's what we have Excel to be for. Next, we come to things like Power BI and Tableau. Now, what's Power BI for? What's Tableau for? Generally, these are tools that we use in presentation, for making presentation. For example, you want to look at your bar charts, your pie charts, okay, your histogram. You want to have those summary, because when you're working in a company, okay, we don't just give stakeholders numbers. They want the numbers, but they don't depend on the numbers. They want to see a visual representation. You should be able to tell them a story out of what you've done. Okay, so you need to learn the art of storytelling. Now, the art of storytelling is where your visualization comes in and your soft skill comes in, because you've done the mathematics, you've done the statistics, you've done the programming, your Excel. You need to be able to tell somebody a story with that and say, okay, last month we had a whole lot of sales because maybe there was pandemic and a lot of persons want to run into their house. They declare lockdown, or there was people think things are going to be bad or something of such. Or maybe we had a lot of sales because that period, okay, it was the beginning of the raining season, so a lot of persons wanted to buy sweater, or they wanted to buy something that is going to cool them down. That's why we had a lot of sales. So you need to have a reason why something is happening. You need to tell them a story behind that. Okay, there are different fields depending on the field you have. If you're in the educational industry, you have to tell story from the educational industry. That means you need to understand knowledge. You have to have knowledge about education. If you're in the financial industry, you need to understand things about finance in order for you to be able to tell a story with that. If you're in the marketing industry, you need to be able to understand marketing in order for you to tell story with it. So you have different fields. So when you come and you learn as a data analyst, you're not confined that, okay, you're a data analyst, there's just one area you're going to work. You know, different industries need your skill. Just that when you move into that particular industry, most times you now call them, if you go into the financial industry, most persons, they now call the data analyst a financial analyst. If you go into the business field, they call that person maybe a business analyst. Okay, so depending on the field you're going into, they'll now give you a name, business analyst, educational analyst. That's because you have statistical skill, and then you have the domain knowledge. They're trying to combine these things together, and hence they give you that kind of term. So that's just basically how it is. So we have Power BI and Tableau. These are for presentation, to present what they call interactive dashboard. A dashboard is simply a collection of different, let me go ahead and show you guys what I mean. When you say dashboards, we can talk about, let's say, data analysis dashboard. So they are just more like a graphical representation that gives story about different things you're doing in the particular industry. So they'll just go ahead and give you something that looks like this. This is a typical example of what they call a dashboard. So you can see in this dashboard what we have once it comes up. You see that what we have there, they are just different. In any of them you're looking at, what you have there, you're just seeing different charts, okay, different kinds of charts. You must have seen some even on websites. When you go to the website dashboard, you see things like these are different charts. For example, this is a line graph. This is more like a bar chart. This is horizontal bar chart. This is horizontal bar chart, vertical bar chart. This is what they call the donut plot, your pie charts, a combination of bar chart and a line plots. This is what they call area plot. So you just have these different charts. Now, you're not just having them there to beautify your work. You're having them there because each of them has a meaning to your organization, okay, or to your company. And you use that one to tell them. So at a glance, somebody looking at this will say, hey, whatever I have here has the highest value. Why does it have the highest value? The same thing here. This guy has the highest, this one is priority order, whatever it is, according to what they have here. This has the highest order. It could be something good, it could be something bad, but you now have to tell them, why is this happening? Okay, what's the story behind this? Okay. So there are a lot of things that are involved when it comes to your dashboard, your Power BI, and your Tableau. So most commonly we use Power BI, but there are some organizations that go ahead to use Tableau as well. But once you learn one of them, if you learn Tableau or learn Power BI, you can always transfer the knowledge down to the other. Okay, that's how these things are. That's why we always talk about that when you're coming into tech, the tools are fine, but please understand the concepts. Because tools will come and go, but your concept remains the same. You can transfer the concept from one tool that is trending down to another tool that is going to trend later on. You can always do that. So you have to understand the concept first before you talk about tool. So that's what we're saying. Once you learn Power BI, you can use that concept that you're going to be taught in Power BI to also go into Tableau. Then we have SQL. SQL is more like a programming language, but this one is a programming language meant for databases, okay? A database is simply anywhere you store data. Now you could store data. If I have an Excel is generally a database, basically. You have your Microsoft Word is a database. Anywhere you store data is generally a database. But we have databases that are well organized. Most times we call them database management system. Okay? So when these databases are well organized, they allow you to be able to interact with this database in a particular fashion, okay? And then you have it out there that allow different persons to interact with that same database if they have the ability or they have the permission to do that. So generally, database is anywhere you store items, anywhere you store data, but we are looking at something that is well organized, okay? Now, when you have something that is well organized, we use SQL, which is a programming language. SQL generally means your structured query language. So what we use this to do is to go to our database and then look for something, to modify items in our database, to update items in our database, to retrieve items in our database. If you want to fetch all persons that bought things last year, last week, and the rest of that, that's what we use SQL for. So you're going to learn SQL as well. All of these, they have timeline, okay? They have, should I say, scheduled timeline for them, but depending on your learning pace, if you're learning on your own, if you're learning in a group, if you're learning in a boot camp, then the pace will actually vary. Okay, some things can take 1 month, other times it can take 2 weeks, some other cases it can take 3 months, depending on what you're doing. Okay, so SQL is also there. So we also have a programming language. Now, when it comes to data analysis, this is where, now remember what we are doing here. We are giving you these different skills or these different career paths so that you choose the one that you think is best for you. If you're coming into data analysis, programming is the least of your worries. You basically don't need to do anything in programming, okay? But we have those data analysis that are strong-headed. because they want to show others that they are very good at it. They can do things with data, with the programming. Those guys are going into programming. If you go into programming, there are a lot of languages you can use when you're doing data analysis. We can use Python, we can use R, we can use JavaScript, we can use MATLAB. There are all so many languages we use, but the most common we use right now is Python. That's the guy that is well in demand in the data field. But like I said, this last one I have here, the programming language, is optional. It's not something you have to do. If you don't want to do programming in data analysis, you're fine. If you want to go into programming, it is an edge, okay? You have an advantage for the fact that you know all of this, you know mathematics, you know Excel, you know Power BI, you know SQL, and you now know Python or you know a programming language. It is an advantage, okay? But it's not like it is compulsory for you to do that. So you can work as a data analyst rather, throughout without going into any programming language. Okay, that's one thing you need to understand. So these are the different fields you have, or the different skills you need to get for you to go into data analysis. Okay, programming is something you don't have to worry about. Now, among all of these, remember I've been mentioning one, okay, which is storytelling. It's not part of this. That is just the ability for you to communicate easily. So you need to have, most times they call it soft skill. You need to have that soft skill in you. Okay, that's one thing you need to understand. So that's for the first one, data analysis. And let's go to the next one. The next one we have here is data science. Now, in the field of data science, now remember I told you guys that most of my presentations I'm going to give you here, most of the things are not on the slide. I'll just go ahead and be talking about them. So if you're coming into data science, number one, you need programming. If you don't like programming, avoid data science. You need programming. In fact, you need to like programming very well. You need to like statistics very well, okay? And you need to like mathematics. If you don't like these things, or you think maybe you don't like them, and then you're not ready to like them, because there are cases where people don't like something and yet they are ready to like it. So the ones they are ready to do it and they come into it, they excel in it. But if you're not ready, then you say, see, I'm not ready to go in, I'm not ready to do mathematics, okay? Then data science is something you shouldn't think about. So you need programming, that's number one. The most common programming language I'm telling you right now is Python for data science. We have other cases. We have Java, we have JavaScript, okay? We have things like C++, MATLAB, all of these are they are things we use. But Python is the most common. It's the most in-demand programming language right now in the data field. So Python is your number one. Then your mathematics and statistics, like I earlier said. Now, unlike in your data analysis, where in your mathematics and statistics, you just need probability, you need some statistics. When it comes to that of data science, you need to do what they call linear algebra. Linear algebra is what they call more like matrices, vectors. Those are things you need to do. You also need to do test hypothesis here, but you also need to do calculus. Okay, calculus. Now, the reason you're doing all of this is not like you're going to be building things from scratch, okay? You're going to be working with things that have already been built, but you need to understand the underlying functionality behind those things. Because most times you're working in a team where you have to do research. If you don't understand the mathematics behind those models, your research, you won't be able to do anything. Okay, you won't be able to do anything, you won't be able to make any finding. You're just going to be blank. So you need to understand mathematics and that statistics. Now, at SmartHub, when we are teaching, we do it both ways. Okay, we use the tools that we have out there that we build. Then we also try to build these things from scratch. As you are building them from scratch, you have no option than to understand the mathematics, because they are going to teach you the mathematics and make you understand that. See, this mathematics you learned in secondary school. You're meeting it here again. You didn't just learn for the sake of learning. This is where you use it. You like AI. This is what powers AI, because what powers AI generally is mathematics and statistics, okay? So we also have, so that's for mathematics and statistics. Then we have to move down to the area of machine learning. Now, before we even go into machine learning, we have that part of it, what's it called? Remember we talked about presentation in data analysis. As a data scientist, you also need to learn how to present things, okay? That means you need to learn your Power BI. If you want to, Power BI, you can decide not to learn Power BI. You can use some Python libraries to do that. We have Python library that we call Matplotlib. We have a Python library that we call Seaborn. Okay, now please, all of these things we are giving to you, if you like any of this career path, and you say, hey, can you give me the curriculum or the full details on this career path? That's one reason you have to join the community. You just go ahead and ask questions. If the community, if the group is open, we open the group most times. If the group is open, you go ahead and ask questions there, and then they will send it to you. If you need it when the group is not open, okay, or you can just shout up any of the admin and say, please, I need the curriculum for this particular career path, and then we're going to send you the curriculum or give you the link to it. So you're always allowed to do that in the community. So if you're not in the community, they'll drop the channel, the links in the group chat. Go ahead and join, okay? Because you have the ability to interact with others and to ask questions and more. Okay, so like I was saying, you have to use something like Matplotlib, which you use for presentation to get your chart, your pie chart, your bar chart, and the rest of that. You have another one they call Seaborn. Seaborn is also something we use for presentation. It's richer compared to Matplotlib. We have what they call Plotly. And then most times you have a data, and this data is messy. You have to clean that data. We have libraries that we call NumPy. We also have a library we call Matplotlib, okay? And so we also have a library we call Pandas. We use these two libraries to try to remove, try to arrange our data in the form that we can actually present or analyze. Because most times we have to prepare our data set. We have a data set that we got from online. It's messy. We have to prepare it before we analyze it, okay? And all of that. So we need to understand all of those things. Then you need to come to the main deal. The main deal is machine learning and deep learning. Now you guys hear about AI. Most person just, AI is simply machine learning. Okay, I'll explain what machine learning generally means, but when you build a machine learning model and then you deploy it out there for people to use, like you have ChatGPT, that's what people call AI, okay? So we are giving these machines the ability, or these agents the ability to reason like human beings without being explicitly told. It's not like somebody is there saying, okay, this person asked this question, let me give this person this answer. No. We've trained these models with a whole lot of data. Okay, that's where they say data is simply the backbone of machine learning models. We train it with thousands of data, millions of data, billions of data, so that whatever resources you come up with, it has this data it's going to look for what you're looking for, whatever question you've asked, and bring it out to you, okay? So that's basically what machine learning is. So machine learning is simply the, I want to say the last area you need when it comes to data science, but it's not actually the last. You also have to come to what they call modern deployment. So you have to also learn web development. So please take notes. Programming is one. Mathematics and statistics is another. Presentation with your Matplotlib, Power BI, graphs, that's one other one. Machine learning, which is where you have to build models that are going to make prediction. How are you going to predict that somebody is going to buy your product or not? If somebody borrows money for you, will the person pay the money or not? All those kind of things. Or how Facebook comes to you and then they give you group options. They tell you that, see, you'll likely know this person, okay? Or you will like this group. The same thing that Jumia does. You like this product. Next, you know that they bring recommendations for you. All of these are machine learning models that are used for that. So we have that. But when we build these models, we need to deploy these models, okay? So for us to deploy these models, two things comes into play. Number one, we need software development skill. So we have to learn web development in that situation. Number two, we need to understand what cloud technologies are. I'm going to talk to you guys about cloud computing, but we need to be able to understand what they call cloud technologies and the rest of that. So these are different things that you need to learn for you to be a good data scientist, okay? Now, one other thing you have to note here is this: as a data scientist, you can also function as a data analyst, because everything the data analyst is learning, if you guys have pictured it very well, you see that the data scientist is doing that and more. Okay, so once you are a data scientist, you can, if you see a job role for a data analyst, you can go ahead and apply for that. And just that you're not learning Excel here, you can decide to now learn Excel, and that is not going to take you time to learn Excel. Okay, just something very easy. And one other thing I didn't mention is your SQL. SQL is very important as a data analyst because you're going to get data from different sources. So you need to understand how do you query this data from these different sources and all of that. So that's where your SQL also comes in. Okay, so that's for that one, for the data science. Then we have another fields after data science. We have that for web development. Now, what's web development all about? One good example is what I'm using to make my presentation. Okay, this is not a slide, it is actually a website. Okay, it's a website I'm using to make my presentation. This is something that is built by a software developer or a web developer. Okay, so when it comes to web development, you're trying to build websites. It could be mobile app, mobile friendly website, or just something that is on the for your laptops. Maybe something like a dashboard. But basically, you're trying to build websites for businesses, your personal brand, for your friends, maybe for a get together. There are different things you could build website for, and you know too well that the way the world is right now, anything you're doing, any business you want to do, people always want them to be out there. So some persons, yes, we use Facebook, we use Instagram to make our advertise our products, but yet when you have an official website, there's this prestige it gives to your business. So every company that means business needs to have a website. So that's where we have the web development coming in. Now in web development, we have different areas. We have the front-end web developer, we have the back-end web developer, and then we have the full-stack web developer. Everything you're seeing here, okay, on this my screen is done by the front-end web developer. All it tries to do is to give presentation, give something that is visually appealing to whoever is coming to the site. That's what the web developer generally does, the front-end web developer. He uses tools like HTML, CSS, JavaScript. These are the three basic tools we have. Most times people call it the holy trinity of web development. Okay, the holy trinity, because with those three, every other thing you're going to do for front end depends on those three. So once you learn HTML, you learn CSS, you learn JavaScript, you can now learn React.js or Vue. Or don't mind the fact that I spelled it this way. It's actually Vue. That's the mistake. And then Angular. There are other frameworks you have out there that you can learn. But no matter the one you want to learn, you must learn these three first as a front-end developer. So who is going to like this? If you're somebody that likes things that are visually appealing and you know you have eye for aesthetic, but you also need logic. Logic is still involved as a front-end web developer. Then we have backend. The backend web developer is the guy that does the dirty work behind the scene. Okay, it's more like you go to a restaurant. You go into the restaurant, it's fancy. You have these tables out there, you have these waiters out there and waitresses. They give you a seat, they come to you, they serve you. That's the front end. But now you ask them, you tell them, say, I want a dish, I want this and that. They go back to the kitchen and give them your order, the kitchen tries to prepare. Those people in the kitchen right there, those are the people that you call the back-end web developer. They are the ones doing the dirty work that you that are in the restaurant are not basically seeing, okay? You're not seeing those things, they are there doing the dirty work. That place could be messy, or it could be well refined for some good restaurant, but all the same, you're not seeing what they're doing, but without them, no good website can actually function, okay? A website that wants to keep user data to function very well, you need the back-end web developer. So they are the ones that are going to interact with the database to store information there, to retrieve information from you. For example, you go to Facebook, you see your friend list is always coming out. You see pictures you've posted. The back-end developer saves those things in the database. Whenever you need it, it gets them, it sends them to the front-end developer. The front-end developer picks these things and displays it for us. Okay, that's basically what happens there. So we have different languages we use as a back-end developer. We have Python. Python have some frameworks. We have something like Flask. We have something like Django. We have something like FastAPI. We have another one, Node.js. Node.js is based on JavaScript. So if you understand JavaScript, like for example, in our bootcamp or in SmartHub, what we generally do as you're coming to learn web development, full stack web development. Once we teach you all of this, which is the front end, when it comes to the back end, we take you to Node.js so that you don't have to learn another language, because you need to be solid in JavaScript. You've learned JavaScript here, so you need to be solid in JavaScript. We take you to Node.js. So some persons, after they've learned Node.js, after a while, maybe a month or so, they come back and say, hey, I want to learn Python for back-end development. They will go ahead and teach them Python. For example, those that are doing data science, what they learn for back-end web development, where they're going to do that, is also Python. They're not going to learn Node.js because they've learned Python for data science. They're going to use Python for the backend because they are also going to learn web development as a data scientist. So we have another language like PHP, Golang, Java. There are so many. Okay, these are different languages we use. Sorry, I was just distracted. These are different languages we use for backend web development. Then we have those that we call the full stack web developer. So the full stack web developer, they combine the ability of the front end developer and then the backend developer. Everything that the front end developer does, everything that the backend developer does, they go ahead and do that. So it's more like their one-man squad. When I say one-man squad, just please don't mind me. One-man squad is the fact that you can do the front end, you can do the back end. But you can't be one-man squad in tech, because most times as a full-stack developer, you're in a team of 20, 30 persons that are also full-stack developers or front-end and back-end developers. But one-man squad in this sense means that you do front-end, you also do back-end. Okay? So we have the full-stack developer that does all of that, everything the front-end. So most full-stack developers, they have more strengths in one of the areas. Okay, so most full stack developer, they have more strengths in the back end. Some full stack developer, they have more strength in the front end. Some of them, whether you bring front end or back end, they have strength, but always there is one that is going to lead. Either the back end is going to lead or the front end is going to lead as a full stack developer. For me, as a full stack developer, I know where I have strength where if you give me work, I know to where I don't even have to think twice. Okay, I can just, if something in one area will take me 2 weeks, the other area I could just wake up and I have deadlines tomorrow, I can just do it and send it to you. I know where my strength is. So the same thing when you come into this field, you know where your strength is, and then you focus on that area more, but you're a full stack developer. Okay, I just hope you guys are learning something out of this, and I have to rush things too because my time is fast spent. So next we have cybersecurity. So cybersecurity, those guys are the guys that protect everything we do on the internet. Okay, there are cases where people come and say their phone is being, their WhatsApp is being hacked, their Facebook is being hijacked, and the rest of that. It's not like Facebook has not put in safe measures to take care of those things. They have, okay, but you can never be so secure. That's why, apart from the company doing theirs, you as an individual, that's why they say security is an everyman business. Okay, so you have to take care of your own area. So the cybersecurity guys, they try to protect everything we do out there on the internet, not just on the internet, because most times these cybersecurity guys, they don't just go on the internet and try to hack into your system and the rest of that. They come to you, okay? They come to you, they use psychology on you, and based on their interaction with you, they can get information about you and do what they want to do. So it's not just about the internet, okay? They can be somebody in your life trying to get information from you because he wants to hack into whatever system you're using or whatever. You won't know. It's just out of interaction. That's why you have to learn how to be skilled. So when you come into cybersecurity, there are a couple of things you have to learn. Now, most of these fields I'm going to talk about, they are not my specialty. So we always, just so you know, we have series of bootcamps or series of webinars that will be coming up. For example, our bootcamp that's coming up by May, we have a pre-bootcamp webinar that is going to come up where each of these tutors will come and expatiate on their field. Web development tutor will come and expatiate, cybersecurity, cloud computing. Each of them will come and expatiate on their various fields, okay? They'll come and expatiate on their various fields. So most of these things I'm giving out here, you can say they are just tip of the iceberg because you're going to get more information in every webinar we are going to do. That's the reason you have to be out there in the know, being on our community, so that whenever we have these webinars coming up, you know the one that you like, you join in, you get information, you accelerate. So when it comes to cybersecurity, you need to understand the general concept of networking, okay? How does systems generally, for example, I'm here talking to you, how possible is that? Okay, what's making that possible? That's networking. So networking and the cloud comes, and that's the reason. Number one is about networking and protocols, okay? For example, you must have seen sites where when you see HTTP, you see what another one that they call HTTPS. What's different between HTTP and HTTPS? One of them is generally protected, which is the HTTPS. The other one is not protected like the HTTP. Those are what you call protocols. We call them network protocols. So the cybersecurity experts, okay, will need to understand generally about these networking protocols and all of that. You need to understand about what's it called, operating systems. Don't mind what is here. It was a mistake. So you need to understand about operating system, your Windows operating system, your Mac OS operating system, your Linux operating system, mostly Linux, and how to work with those operating systems. And then you have cloud computing and cloud security. They need to understand how to secure things we have out there. You have your database, you have your website. How do we secure it in the cloud? Because you don't, your website is not running in your system. It's running on some other person's infrastructure. You must have heard of things like AWS, Azure, GCP. Those are different people architecture. Okay, you're storing things there, but it needs to be protected. Okay, you have to create what they call a private network where you have things, your database to be within that ring. And then you have things that are public where people can generally access those things and all of that. So all of these are things you need to learn as a cybersecurity expert. Then you have what they call penetration testing and ethical hacking in general. Most persons, when they hear cybersecurity, they think of hacking, okay, hacking. But that's not what you're here to do as a cybersecurity expert. You're here basically to expert, to protect, but then you need to understand how those that try to hack, how do they hack. So you need to learn how the thief actually works, or the attacker actually works, so that you know how best to protect system against it, okay? So that's basically what penetration testing is, and then ethical hacking and all of that. And there are so many other things, like I said, that you're going to learn. So we have webinars, or we have sessions where you come and then you learn each of these things. Like you'll see our UI UX expert will come. He will tell you, see, you want to go into UI UX. These are the different things you need. This is the pathway. He's going to give you a whole lot of information. Okay. So another one we have, that's for cybersecurity that we have here. Then we also have for cloud computing. We have for UI UX design, but they are calling on my attention. So I may not be able to go through all of those cases, but I know Mr. Dave is going to do justice to most of the things I'm not talking about. But one other thing we need to know is this. Now, all of this we've mentioned, you want to learn, how do you go ahead learning these things? We have free resources out there, okay? When you join the community, we're going to drop free resources for each of these particular areas. So some persons, they like learning on their own. We're going to drop those free resources for you to go ahead and learn. Some persons come to us and say, see, we're waiting for your bootcamp. Your bootcamp is starting May, but I'm not patient enough. Can I be doing something before then? Those resources are things that you can use and help yourself with studying, get yourself acquainted with something, so that when it comes to that period, most of the things we're going to teach you, they'll be like, walk through, because then you've understood the concept. Just like, oh, this is what I was learning. Now it makes sense. You know, that kind of oh moment or wow moment. That's what's going to happen. So we drop the resources for you guys. Some people, they just want to learn on their own. There are people that they are not good at learning on their own. They want to join a bootcamp. Okay, so we have different bootcamp. We have free bootcamp, we have paid bootcamp, mentored and non-mentored bootcamp. So there are different resources out there. You go on YouTube, you have tons of information. Okay? Even on our YouTube channel, you have tons of information out there. But it all depends on how do you want to learn, which one works best for you. Okay, but we at SmartHub, we are always ready to guide you. Okay, we guide you when you come to our training. We have some training lasting for 3 months. We have some training lasting for 6 months. We have some training lasting for 4 months, depending on the area you're coming for. Cloud computing, cybersecurity, web development, and the rest of that. Each of these, they have their different durations. Okay, but within this duration, you're always going to learn a lot. You see all these things I showed you, we go in depth in each of them. Okay, in depth in each of them. So like I said, I don't have much time to go ahead and show you. I'm going to drop this slide for you guys, okay, or the presentation for you guys on the group chat, and a whole lot of things for you guys. But if you have any question by the end of the session, you can go ahead and ask a question. Let me allow Mr. David to do justice, okay? I'm sorry that I couldn't go through everything, but you guys, this is available. You're always in the community, so you're always going to have access to all of this. I hope that's fine. So I'll give the floor back to Mr. Edison. Thanks a lot, and stay blessed.
Okay, and nobody's clapping. Oh, Jesus. I was even carried away to a point. To a point I was carried away. I was just learning. I don't want Mr. George to stop actually, but no, he should. He should. All right. All right. Yes, Mr. George, you're well appreciated. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right. Your questions will be answered. Please, there will be a section for it. We have time for everything. All right. So we are going to see if we can meet up with Mr. David, if he can also come up. Mr. David, are you active, please? We don't have much time, so okay. Sorry, Mr. David has been having serious network issue, like serious one. He's on my DM right now and he's also complaining that the network is um it's really bad on his own side. Sorry. So I think we can take each section, but I want to enlighten something, like give a very, I don't know if anybody observed that actually. Mr. George, like Mr. George just, I don't, maybe he noticed that Mr. David is not coming. So he just did justice to whatever Mr. David what ought to do. All right. How many of us notice it? Let's indicate that we notice it. Mr. George did. Please indicate if you notice that Mr. George did justice to all everything right now. Okay, fine. Thank you very much. All right, thank you. We don't have much time, so we are going to engage you a little bit. All right, we are going to engage you a little bit. So we have questions for you. I have a personal question for you. Personal one, or it's not personal, don't worry. I want to see those people that are listening that got everything that Mr. George gave to us, because he loaded us a lot. If you're hungry by now, you should have been full by now, because he gave us visual food. If you're hungry by now, you could have been full. Okay. I have a question for you. The first question is, please do well to the first person that answered correctly, that's person that's going to get this. I have Node is under which programming language for web? Node is under which programming language for web? So if you know the answer, please. Mr. George did justice to it. If you know the answer, please drop it right now. Please, no group member, no team members. I don't want the team member. Okay. All right. I think I have an answer. Okay. I also have another one. Data science, which tech field is Python widely used in data science? Which tech field is Python widely used? Which tech field is Python widely used? Which tech field is Python widely used? Okay. Okay. Which tech field is okay? No. Okay, fine. I'm getting tons of answers. Okay, they are going to attend to you. All those people that got it. I gave you a clue on the answer. I don't know when I gave you a clue on the answer. All right. So on cybersecurity, I'm hitting the points on each of the field Mr. George actually emphasized on. On cybersecurity, this question on cybersecurity. Okay, I'm going to leave this. Okay, that's fine. So I'm going to drop more these questions for you. But first, we don't have much time. So let's okay, for those people that answer the first and second, you'll be attended to, but we don't have much time. So let me just give a room for questions. All right. Sorry, we can't have Mr. David on this section again because he's having serious network issues. All right, so please, sorry about it. I'm going to drop more questions and there'll be more giveaways while we engage ourselves because we don't have much time. All right, so please, let me give room for questions. All right, for this section. Let me give room for questions. So if you have a question, please indicate. I'm going to call you by your name so you can ask the questions, please. Okay, I get one. Okay, I'm not having everybody. Okay, okay. I'm having two persons that want to ask questions. All right. So I'll go with Mr. Danef Besima. Okay, Mr. Danef Besima, you have a question for the speaker. Please, you can do well to unmute and ask. Mr. Daniel, are you there? Okay, while we wait for Mr. Daniel, I think he's off the room. While we wait for Mr. Daniel, we have Progress Only. Please, Progress Only, you can unmute and ask a question. Please, we have limited time. If I call your name, you can quickly ask your questions, please. Progress.
I just want to ask how I can start my journey as a web developer.
Okay, please, can you repeat your question?
Okay, I want to ask how I can start my journey as a web developer.
Okay, okay. Do you have another person's how you can start your journey as a web developer? Okay, it's noted. Do you have another person on the group that wants to ask question, please? If you have question concerning anyone, okay, I have gifts. You can also drop your question on the comment section too. I have gifts. Okay, gifts, you can unmute. It's gift there.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
gifts. Okay.
my question is that please, how do we somebody that don't know anything about this data science, how do you go about it?
Okay. How do we go about a newbie on data science? Okay.
So
All right.
I think I should answer this question before we get more.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Once more.
Sorry, I think you should take the first one first.
Yeah, I'm going with the first one first. So, you want to start a journey as a web developer. Basically, the roadmap is first. In fact, the number one thing is you should have a system. If you don't have a system, basically you can't do anything in web. You can't do anything in tech in general. We've gone past the area where people try to just use their phone to do things. But if you want to be serious business, you need to have a system. Okay. Now, let's say you have a system that is out of the way, or you have access to a system. Now, we have different resources out there, but you need to learn HTML. That's number one you need to learn. You need to learn CSS. You need to learn JavaScript. Now, once you've learned these three, you practice with these things for a while. HTML, CSS, JavaScript. You learn these three, you practice them for a while, use them to build projects. Okay? Then you can go into a framework. A framework is what actually makes you develop things faster. And that framework, things like React. React is the most common library. It's a library actually, but React is one library that we generally use for web development. It's the most common right now. We have other ones like Vue. We also have Angular. There are other languages out there, other frameworks and libraries out there. But first, you need to start with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And practice with these guys for a while. Build things. And that's the reason we always advise that you join a community, okay? From SmartHub, we always, you're not, once you're in SmartHub, you're not just within the SmartHub community alone. Our students, there's a point they get to, once we take them to a particular level, we give them access to other communities. Okay, there are other communities out there, tech communities within the River State, within Nigeria. We channel them to those communities so that they'll still meet like minds. Okay, they shouldn't be within the locality of just SmartHub. Okay, SmartHub introduce them to other communities as well. When you move in there, you also see job opportunities we posted there. We also have an alumni group chat where we also post-job opportunity and internship. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Once you're in SmartHub, there's internship opportunity for you at the end of every of the training. Okay, for data science, for web development, at the end there is internship opportunity. You be an intern with us for like 3 to 6 months, and then thereafter you can go ahead and introduce. Even most times before you're done with your internship, you've gotten a job. Other times once you're done, you go ahead and that's just how it is. But HTML, CSS, JavaScript, you start with those ones. When you bump into issues, there are resources out there, or there are people you can generally ask questions in the community. They'll guide you what to do. Is that fine? Who asked that question? Progress. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yes, so that's fine. I just want to ask, how many months or how long will it take me to become a front-end developer?
On the average, okay, it's not like on the average for you to understand the whole concept of front end and do things, okay. If library is involved, like React is involved, but let's say give it 4 or 5 months, okay. Now, one thing you need to understand about tech is it's a journey, it's not a destination. So after these 4 or 5 months, you still have a lot to do. Okay, some persons are in tech, for example, I've been in tech for how long, but then I learn new things every day because there's a lot of new things that come. So that's why I said you have to understand the concept because tools comes and go. So you have a whole lot of journey ahead of you. But for you to be solid and say, yes, I can, from where I am right now, I can learn anything I want to learn and use anything I want to use for a job. You just want to research out there, then just give yourself like 4 or 5 months, okay? HTML is something that is not meant to take your time. With CSS, CSS is something you learn all through your life as you're in the tech field. Then JavaScript, the same thing. So just give yourself like 4 or 5 months for a front-end development phase. You're going to be okay. As long as you're putting in the work, practicing and all of that. Okay, but if you're going for the area of full stack, then let's say at least 6 months, then full stack. Because front end has introduced a lot of things in the ecosystem. So that back end shouldn't be that difficult to grasp, but a lot of logic is involved in back end. But the initial concept shouldn't be that too much, shouldn't be that much rather, because front end has introduced it to a lot in the ecosystem. You good?
Okay, I think it's
Yes,
fine.
thank you very much.
Okay, did you also answer, Mr. George, did you also answer the one for the data science?
Okay, yeah, for the one for the data science, just give me a minute, please. Just a minute.
Mr. George, okay, it's okay, it's up.
Okay, yeah. You said for what's the data science? He said how can what was it the question you asked again? Sorry. Gifts. Can you come again with your question?
Okay. I said, how do I start my journey as a data scientist? Like somebody that don't know anything about it. So how do I start?
So first, okay, now we've told you what data science is all about. If not, the first would have been for you to research, even when it comes to web development. But in a way, we introduce you to say, okay, this is what data science entails. And we said the first thing you have to learn is the programming language. Which programming language? You learn Python. It's as simple as that. You have to learn, for data science, you have to learn a Python programming language. That's the very first thing you have to learn. But that's with the assumption that you're good in some areas and now, but still, Python programming language should be number one. Then you can come to the next, which is your mathematics and then statistics, which is something you can still pick up along the line and then use it while you're learning programming. We're good.
Okay, are you clear, Gifts?
Yes,
I
I'm
get your
clear.
question. Okay, all right. I think, Mr. George, we still have more questions on the chat group.
Okay.
I'll try as much as possible to read some out on the group. I think okay, let me go down. Someone is asking why it's Why is competition in data science? I don't understand that one, please. If you're writing, type it very well, right? Why that question? I don't understand it actually. So, okay, how do I start as a beginner who does not know anything about web? I think that questions have been answered. All right. How do I get access to? Okay. How do I get access to a live project or possible landing your first job? Okay. I think the person is landing my first job. How do I get access to live projects or possible land my first job? Let me just use that
Okay,
question.
so yeah, about that, for life projects, it depends on the community you're in. Okay, and this is the reason you need to you have to be part of different communities. And apart from that, as a data scientist, there are some groups, some not just groups, some platforms. Like you can read about or just Google about Cargo. I'm dropping the name on the charts. There's a place called Cargo. When you go on Cargo, they always drop live projects there. Most times they bring them as competitions. But a lot of persons try to go there just to get the data and participate. They don't really want to involve in the competition per se. But the competition is always far too rewarding if you're involved in the competition. There are people that's their job. They don't even care to apply for any job. They're just on Cargo. They have a team or they even have a company that what they do is to go to Cargo, they pick a project, they work on a project, they submit it, they get paid and the rest of that. But I'm saying that's one area you can get live data from and then use the live data to build projects. But in communities, for example, if you're undergoing a bootcamp with us, we always give you guys live projects because we get projects from different companies or different persons. So we try to, out of that, simulate because we won't give you their data, it will be breach of contract. But from what we get, we simulate something similar and then give it to you. Those are the things we use while we're learning. And you do a lot of projects and all of that. So even if you're going to YouTube, the same thing, they always give you projects, you're buying a course, there are always going to be projects out there that you do to build your portfolio. Okay. Yeah, that's basically it.
Okay. I think we also I think yes. We also have another one. You also answer this one generally. Like I think there are two system questions here. Let me just pick one, then you answer it. Once you answer it, we have a gen. Can I start my journey as a data scientist with HP Elite book? I think generally we are talking about system requirements.
Yeah, you can. The question is how many RAM do you have there? Okay, Light book is something that is very strong, a very strong laptop. Okay, the base we always advise you should have at least 8 GB of RAM, at least 8 GB of RAM, a good processor. Some people, it depends on. It still also depends on where you're going to. If you're going to cloud computing, for instance, you might need more resources when it comes to RAM. But at least 8 GB. Once you have at least 8 GB, I think you're on a good spot. Okay. But Allied book, what core? That's one other question. What generation is it? Core i5, Core i7? But I don't think that's going to be too much of an issue if the RAM size is quite large. The other ones that things that you can always. Yeah.
Okay, I believe you're clear. There is one question that I'm not clear with, so I'm going to leave that. The person hasn't corrected it, so I can't ask that. That question wasn't clear to me as well. I think
Okay, so I
why
have another question. I think it's the person is trying to repeat one of those questions you're talking about. Is it possible for data analysis field to be saturated, thereby resulting in competition in getting jobs? Now, talking about competition in getting jobs, there competition in getting jobs in all the fields. That's one thing you have to know. That's the reason you have to network. That's number one, because most times you know this thing, but then you're not talking to the right people. So it's becomes very hard for you to even get mentioned in a room. That's one. Number two is for you to be outstanding. Once somebody knows you are good at the job and you know how to put yourself out there, for example, I hardly apply for jobs. It's even of recent, I'm just saying, okay, let me just apply. Because it's been a while I went on interview. So let me just have an interview. Even if I have an active role, let me just go for interviews. It's not like I really want to go, but let me see the interview process because it's been a very long while. So what I'm saying is most of the jobs I get, majority of what I get, I don't apply. So hey, somebody recommended me that I should talk to you. And when you're recommended, it becomes very easy. Okay, you do less than 20% of work to get the job because you've been recommended, hence they don't want to hear more story from you. Some persons might just still try to give you some technical tests, others they won't even bother, you just come in. But now when you go in, you've been recommended, when you go in and then start working, is the recommendation going to stick with your ability? Because the first week, it doesn't matter if you're being recommended or not. The first week, if you're not doing well, or the first month, if you're not doing well, you have a trial period, they can just kick you out. So even if you're being recommended, you should be good at what you're doing. But all I'm saying is if you have the right network, recommendation is one thing that's always tries to help you out. But every field, data science or data analysis, web development, cybersecurity, they've been here for ages. A lot of persons are still coming into the fields. People always say they are saturated, yet the new persons that are coming into the field, they are still getting jobs. Why? That's because they are doing something that maybe those persons that are not getting jobs are not doing. Okay, they are building networks, they are building their projects, they are making people know that they are marketing themselves in general. Okay, so if you're good at what you're doing, maybe 20 persons applied for a job, you have the right CV, you put the CV in order, they run the CV through an automated process that is going to shortlist items that candidates that are going to interview, definitely. And when you go to the interview, you make yourself shine. So then every field is just a lot of persons are in every field, but then I'm just saying you have to be outstanding. That's why maybe Edison said something. He said, "Yeah, the money is very important. Quite all right. You're coming in to take the money is important, but if the money is your drive, you're going to fail in this field. That's the truth. That's the simple truth. If just the money is your drive, and because will you be able to have the patience? Okay, you're working on a project. You have bugs. Most times you can't even sleep because of your bug that is bugging you. Okay, most times you spend hours, you're trying to do something and then it's not working. If it's not something you love doing, you won't be able to have that patience. Okay, so the money is there, which is rewarding, but then it should be something you really want to do. So when people come to me and say, hey, I have these different fields, when they ask us to send them course lists, and then I send them the course, they'll say, hey, Mr. George, recommend, should I go for data analysis? Should I go for everything? I always say, I ain't doing that. I'm not recommending anything for you. You have these different fields, go and study, research about them. Once you've done your research, you come back to me, then we can talk. When we talk, you'll see once you're doing your research, you always, okay, this one is actually better for me. I think I prefer this or this. Then I can assist, or then we can assist. So because then I know that yes, you have a drive because of what you've researched and you've seen the path that moves alongside with your career goal or your lifestyle or things you like in life or things you want to do, then yes, we can go ahead and help you out to make your decision, but not just out of the blue. But I think I've answered your question. All fields are, you have a lot of jobs out there, a lot of persons out there, but then you have to make yourself outstanding. And then you have to network a lot. Okay, network, go for events, join communities. And SmartHub is also here for you to help.
All right, let's appreciate the speaker now. You people are not appreciating it. Appreciate if you answer your question correctly. For me, all the questions have been answered correctly. So let's appreciate the speaker, please. Appreciate Mr. George for its effort and for his exposure as well. Thank you very much. Okay, all right. So our time is almost spent here. So we'll just make a conclusion. Sorry, once again, I apologize for Mr. David. He was supposed to be on this program, all right? Once again, I apologize for its absence, but trust me, it's being covered. So I have two questions before we conclude. I have my giveaway is not up yet. So I have two giveaways to give, like two giveaways for you. All right. So to appreciate you for the long time you've stayed with us throughout the programs. All right. So I want to appreciate those as well. So one, I have one question, which is please, if you know the answer quickly, the first person, that's the person that was going to get the reward. When did George Bowman Smith start the its tech journey officially and unofficially? Tech journey officially and unofficially. So please, if you're stating it, these two should be there. Okay, okay, okay. The correct answer would be attended to, please. The first person on the list that is correct, that is correct, will be rewarded as well. Okay, I have one last one before we draw conclusion. All right, I have one last one. I have one last one. Okay, now please pay close attention to this. Mr. George has been mentioning a particular term in programming, a particular time in programming. All his lectures, I've been closely listening to it. I believe you too, you're closely listening to it. So as now I'll assume everybody, no, it's not assumption, because Mr. George has loaded us a lot. So we are officially developers. Everyone here is officially developers, STAMA developer. So I'm going to just, we have just a little bit tech, we call it tech meme, all right? Tech meme. What you do on the comment section for everyone, what you do is, once I mention the tech meme, the question, once I mention the question or when I ask the question, you are not going to type, you're going to use an emoji for that question. That's what we call tech meme, all right? You're going to use an emoji, all right, to do that. So please carefully know the ones that's correct. Already I have the correct one, so please listen to the question correctly. An error in code is called, an error in code is called, an error in code is called, please, if you know the, use an emoji on it, please, no text. A tech meme, please. Okay, no, a tech meme, please. Okay. Okay. Okay, I think yes, that's fine. The correct person is going to be rewarded. So okay, I want to draw a conclusion. I believe everyone have learned a lot, and you're saturated with everything Mr. George have explained, and also every. So we would like to appreciate you. I would like you to appreciate yourself for staying this long. Please, let's give a round of applause to ourselves, please. I want to see everyone appreciate yourself for this time. If you know you've not gained something, don't appreciate yourself. But if you know you gained something, please do well to appreciate yourself. All right. Thank you. We thank you for being part of us for this long. We say thank you. All right. Thank you. And also, let's also appreciate those our team members that have been here, that are working tirelessly for this, for the effort of this program. All right. Let's also appreciate them for their efforts, or them to bring this knowledge to you and you benefiting. Also our speakers, all right. Mr. David, Mr. George, they've done well, despite Mr. David not here with us for today due to network issues. Let's appreciate everyone for this great knowledge you've impacted into our life. Me, I learned a lot as well. Even if I'm in tech field already, I learned every day, like Mr. Joy said, every day we'll learn. So All right. So we are going. I'm going to remind you once again. We have our tech sprint. All right. We have our tech sprint program that runs for 30 days. All right. The form will be posted on this platform. Please do well if you've not registered for the tech sprint. All right. This is a 30 days packed, knowledge packed program. Please do well to register. All right. The tech sprint is intensive. It runs 30 days. It's intensive, all right? It's a training that will carry a lot of that carries all the packages SmartHub offers, all right? So please do well to register for the tech sprints. And we also have our multiple camp, which runs for 6 months. Mr. George have also thrown light on it. So please, if you're on the boot camp, if you've already registered on the boot camp, that's fine. But if you haven't, you're on the group list. Please do well to go to the form. There is a link on each of the group, or you can join the group as well. The link will be dropped here before everyone leaves. So do well to register and be part of it. And also our IT members, our IT persons, the students, you can also leverage on this. You can tell a friend will tell a friend. That's how the networking part works. All right, please, somebody might need it. Even if you don't need it for now, but somebody might need it. All right, please do well to inform a friend, and a friend should tell a friend. All right, the networking should work. All right, so please, and also before we round up, I would like you to drop feedbacks on on the program, please. Your feedback is also recommended for everyone, so as to improve in every aspect we do. All right, so please drop your feedback on how the program runs. The link for this program is being recorded. This section is being recorded. So if you want the section link and want to hear what the speaker have said over and over again and get, if you're lost, or maybe your friend or anybody that is not available right now, you can also recommend the person to get the link and get exposed to all what the speakers have said. All right, I think that's it. All right, so for now, I'm going to just give a room for we are supposed to have the two speakers to talk on the final part, but I'm going to give a room for Mr. George to just give us his final word, and we actually call it a day. All right, Mr. George, are you active?
Yes, I am.
All right, so,
okay, yeah. Once again, good evening, everyone, and thanks for being here. It's an honor for me to be talking to you guys, and I hope we are going to have more of this. Just so you guys know, every month we have webinars that's on different areas and different fields. Apart from those webinars that we're having every month, usually at the end of the month, we also have, for example, I told you guys about the bootcamp that is coming up. I think Mr. Edison has also explained that. We have a bootcamp coming up on the 5th of May, but there's going to be more like a session before that bootcamp, where we're going to enlighten you on a lot of things about the bootcamp. In one of these sessions, you're going to see each of the people coming in to explain the different fields. Now, we are doing all of this to help you understand each of these fields and then make your decision very well. Okay, so that if you think you want to go for web development, by the time you know what each of these fields is talking about, what it greatly entails, coming from the mouth of the experts and also the tutor that is going to be taking you, then you better understand, oh, this thing actually resonates with me. Let me go for it. Or, oh, this part doesn't resonate with me. Let me cancel it and go for another one. Okay, so we are going to be having these sessions coming in. Now, again, please, tech sprints is going to be well packed. Like, you're coming to learn, just take tech sprint as your intro into the tech field. Now, tech sprint is something that we are going to be having it like 2 or 3 times in a year. So you can see it's very minimal. It's not something that you see often. So if you've not registered, or if you're not on the group chat, we have a group chat for TechSprint, more like a waitlist. You're going to get more information about it. But just so you know, within these 30 days, you'll be learning a lot. You'll be learning about web developments. You're going to learn about automation, how to automate things with Python. You're going to learn about AI, okay? You're also going to learn about best ways you can secure things, more like best practices in cybersecurity and also how the cloud generally works. You're going to learn a lot. Another advantage of TechSprint is once you enroll in TechSprint, for the fact that you've enrolled in TechSprint and you went through that program with us, when we have our bootcamp and then you want to transition, because like I said, TechSprint is offering you into tech. So once you want to go into our bootcamp, maybe you're coming for web development, you're coming for data analysis, you automatically have a discount because you were involved in TechSprint. Okay, you've paid for TechSprint. Automatically, we give you a discount in our bootcamp. Okay, so if it's something that you're meant to pay 100,000 naira, it might be something now you have to pay 70 or 80. If it's something you have to pay 200 or 300, you have a discount to come down and the rest of that, depending on the field you're coming into. So we have a lot of advantages out there. So once you come in, you're learning each field. Okay, you're learning these different fields, trying to understand how they all come together, because that's the aim. Okay, when you go into data analysis, you're learning data analysis in isolation. When you go into data science, you're going to learn data science in isolation. But when you come into TechSprints, you're trying to see how can we combine these different technologies? How do they generally interact to make a whole? Okay, how does the cloud computing engineer comes in? How does the cybersecurity expert comes in? The web developer, the data analysis. You're learning all of these things in one, and then we try to say, okay, how can you use this to build a project where each of these persons would actually contribute to that project? Then after, by the end of the whole program, say, hey, for what I've done so far, I want to go into web development. Then you're going to get a discount because you did TechSprint with us. So that's about that. Please don't forget, join the community if you're not part of the community. We have a lot of resources. I'm going to drop the slide or the website that I use there so that you guys will go through the slide. Even if Mr. David wasn't able to do his presentation, we are going to drop the slide as well so that at least you're going to get a hand of what is it he wanted to tell you guys. So drop that slide as well and all of that. So I think that's what I have to say. Kudos to you guys for being here. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, everyone. Okay. All right. We appreciate you once again for your time, because it's not an easy one, but the knowledge being impacted here, it's the one that's most important. All right. So thank you, everyone. So if you have questions, all right, if you have questions, please go to our group chat, our community. You can drop any question that's not clear with you, that maybe is not answered here. You drop it there. For now, we can entertain questions again. All right. And please also get this back of your mind. Tech sprints. All right. It should be a word you should be pronouncing, because like Mr. George said, I've explained, it's packed. All right. So the group link is on the platform. If you haven't joined the group or the community, please do well to join. All right. So thank you once again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, SmartHub team. Thank you, Mr. George. Thank you, everyone. I can't be able to mention your names again. But thank you for your time, and do well to have a good night's rest. All right.